Welcome to this week's episode of Who Knows What on Earth is going to come through the door next. Yep, a customer has just turned up and dropped off quite a bit of gear. So let's go through it. First thing is a Laney clip. Not sure what year it is. No idea, we'll find out. But this one does not turn on. This one is no output. One of the dual lights has gone through there. Customer suspects it is a blown power transformer. We hope not. This is going to be the first one I'm going to look at. But hopefully the partridge transformer inside has not failed, because that would be expensive and that would definitely be a rewind job. So we're going to go through that one. Got a high watt custom PA 100. Yeah. I think, and please don't shout at me if I get this wrong, the output stage is essentially a DR103, but it's obviously got the 6 PA channels in the front end. So what's this in for? Well, he was playing his guitar through it into a cab. It blew 2 of the speakers, so 2 of the Fane speakers have gone bang. And the amp's okay, but is now making, he says, it makes a noise that's there all the time. So when we plug it in, we'll find it. So he wants me to go through it, make sure it's okay, make sure the blowing of the speakers has not damaged anything internally. I've never had one of these through the workshop before. This is a Gibson, check it right, 79 RTV. It's a multi-stereo unit, 2 channels with reverb and tremolo, stereo output. Really cool old Gibson amp. He brought it in for service and a check over. He did say that one of the channels appears to be much louder than the other, but he's not sure whether that volume level is correct and the other channel is really quiet, or if the quiet channel is correct and the other channel is faulty and it's putting out way too much power or output. So need to go through it, need to check it all out. We're going to do a full check over of each of these over the coming weeks. This is pretty much all of my February repair work now. So I'll go into these in more detail. So don't shout at me that I'm not giving you as much information now. We will get onto them. And finally, the thing at the bottom, again, quite a rare amp. Vibrasonic reverb, which is essentially a twin reverb, but running a single 15-inch speaker. In this case, it's got an EV in the back. This is an export amp, so it's got the voltage selector on the back, and it has got the push-pull master volume on there. So it is a later amp. He said one of the output valves red-plated, and he wants the thing going through, make sure it's all okay, and there's no further issues. Customer's also dropped in, same customer, a Watkins copycat. One of the latest solid-state models. He said all seems to be working fine, other than the motor itself is really noisy, so wants me to give the thing a service, clean the heads, go through it, make sure it's all okay, and yeah, so we'll get into this at some point. We may even do a dedicated video on it, I haven't yet decided, but we'll see. So we're almost there. The final thing he's brought in is a Mark III tone bender. Where does it say Mark III on it at the top? There you go. Vox Mark III tone bender. No output on this one. So let me just tidy up my workspace. No output at all, unless you put pressure on the volume pot with your thumb, and then the output comes back, but it's really, really faint. Turn the pedal off, the bypass mode works fine. So we're going to have to get into that as well, work out what's going on. Really, really cool. Tone bender Mark III. That's dead in the water. Right, let's start with the Laney then. Another ramp that I've not had in the workshop before. Isn't that cool though? I don't know much about them. I haven't done any research yet, which I'm going to do after I've gone through this startup procedure. But overall, the amp's in pretty used condition. Very cool though. Very, very cool indeed. So we've got 2 channels, called the chassis. chassis loose. Okay, be careful. 2 channels. The clip channel, no idea what that does. Excited to learn though. And the normal channel with treble, middle, bass presence. Is the tone stack master for both channels, or is it just for the normal channel? No idea. Again, I haven't got a clue. But yeah, spin it around. We'll have a look. So I need that lazy Susan. 100 watt. There you go. So what do we know about these then? Not much. Hardwired mains cable, 2 amp mains fuse, voltage selector on the back, 1 amp HT fuse, 4, 8 and 16 ohm outputs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, why is there 5 clicks? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 positions, but only 3 markings on the back. Oh, I don't like that. Okay. And it's got a slave output too. Let's pull this rear panel off. Gotta love wood screws. What I want to do is give this thing a visual inspection. Right, where's the output valves gone? Okay, all right. Is the chassis held in by anything at the bottom? Possibly. Nope, it's not. Okay, so inside the cabinet we've got some fun stuff. Yeah. It's not in the best shape, is it? It's definitely been through the wars a bit. I'm sure it'll be okay. Okay. The chassis. Can you see? Can you see? 2, 3 massive Partridge transformers. Reminds me of the Sound City. Do you remember that we had in? 4 preamp valves. These shields look new. 1 Brimar, 2 Brimar, 3 Brimar, 4 Brimers. We are really hoping that transformer is not blown. I hope it's not. Let's have a look inside then. Actually, it reminds me of the Laney supergroup that I had in as well. So what can we see this end? Anything fun? Oh, that's the other dual light. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 filter caps. Oh, you couldn't even see what I was doing then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 filter caps there. 9, 10, 11. Woohoo! Imagine the bill to recap this thing. Can you see my sludge? In fact, that's not even the worst of it. Look at that stuff. What's going on there? What is it? Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, V8, V7. It's got the same amount of gunge again. A lot darker colour this time. I do hope this isn't going to write this off. V6. Same again. It's like some weird sort of wax crap, isn't it? And finally V5. Same again. It's all covered in this. And look, this grid stopper here. Covered in stuff as well. What has gone on in this amp? All of this is going to need cleaning up and sorting out. Oh dear. Right, okay, so on the test bench, let's give it a better look through, shall we? Some top-down views so we can all look together. At the filter stack, we'll start with the filter stack. Most of them show signs of bulging, so we've got a big recap job to do. We're going to come back to the valve sockets in a minute. I'm not skipping past them. Got components on the board that look like they've got toasty. Got a mustard cap here that, is it coming across on camera? Got some weird shadowing on. I'm not sure what causes that. Never seen that before. Preamp section. Right, these output valves, we need to just output sockets. All of this is going to need clearing up, but why is it? I don't know where that wax has come from. It can't have wicked down the transformer leads, can it? Why is it so strapped? Oh. He did say to me, the problem is once you get it up and running, you don't know what else it's going to need. I was like, yeah, okay. I see your point. So I am going to fire it up. I'm going to fire it up through my light bulb limiter. I'm not going to run any signal through it, but we're just going to check that there's not a major short. If there is a major short, a fault current is flowing, our bulb's going to glow full brightness, and we're going to protect ourselves that way. Right, let me just check this mains wiring. Oh, that's odd. So our mains wiring comes in. Live goes to the mains fuse, to the wrong terminal. It should go to this terminal first and then this one. But it doesn't, it's the wrong way around. Then up to your on off switch. The neutral is switched on the same switch at the top there. So the live and neutral switched at the same time. This switch here. This is your standby switch. But anyway, this fuse at the back, that's what I was showing you. God, everywhere I look, there's something weird going on with this. But our safety earth shares the earth point for the B plus fuse. So you've got a B plus coming from your rectifiers and then to ground. So this goes to ground here, and they've tacked this on here. Don't like that. But that doesn't ground at a point. It comes through and grounds at the presence pot up here. Okay, all right. I've had enough fun now. Time to get serious. We need to work out why this amp doesn't turn on. So, does a fault current flow? Nothing's flowing. 0 watts consumption. Mains fuse. There's no mains fuse in it. It can't be that simple, can it? Let me get a fuse. Okay, 2 amp fuse installed. Just in there. Should we go again? Well, it does turn on. 26 watts. So that's just the energizing current for the transformers. The 2 lights work. The 2 switches work. Let's grab the voltmeter. It can't be, can it? It can't be. Can you see that? We're on DC. Can't just be that it needed a mains fuse, does it? DC. Okay. We're putting 26 watts out the wall. There's no output valves installed. B plus. 537 volts. Standby switch. Turns that off. Back on. Okay. Right. Okay. Check further downstream. I mean, we have volts. Preamp. Well, we've got voltages throughout the preamp. Phase inverter. Cathode, yeah. So what's wrong with it then? Why does he think it doesn't work? Output valves. Pin 3. So we've got the red side and we've got the... Oh, I can't even see the colours there. Let's check this side. Got voltage on the plates, on the screens. On that side, yeah, what about this side? Plates. We'll get on there. Plates. Screens. Get in there. Yeah, we got that. Grid voltage. Yeah. Yeah. Right, so what's wrong with it then? What's going on? Why does Mr. Customer think this amp doesn't work? Because it's just turned on. I don't know. I seriously don't know. Right, okay, so everything seems to be okay. I think the amp just needs a damn good service. It needs a recap, absolutely. It needs these output valve sockets thoroughly cleaning and de-waxing and whatever that mess is. But yeah, I don't actually see a reason why. I might need to speak to the customer again and get more info, but everything seems to be working fine. There's no indication yet that this amp has any issues. He has supplied to me a set of EL34s that I'm happy to fit, but not with the sockets in this state. So I'm going to, I think what I need to do is go back to him and say, well, this is what I've done. I've fitted a mains fuse, I soft started it, everything appeared to be okay. I feel like I'm missing something. Let me check his notes again. Laney clip, no power, does not turn on, possible mains transformer. And fit supplied valves. I know this isn't making interesting YouTube, but I'm just thinking. I need to go back to him and ask again why he thinks the mains transformer, power transformer, was faulty, because it's not. It's working fine. There's no issue with it. All the windings are delivering voltage. The amp just needs a good going through and a sort out. It doesn't need a transformer rewind, which would be very odd, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to call him. Hold on. Okay, so I've had a good chat with my customer, trying to understand the full story behind this, why he thinks the mains transformer was faulty. How did he reach that conclusion? What's the story behind it? Okay, so he took the amp to a local general electronics repair place, we'll call them. They service all sorts of electrical stuff, from iPhones right through to hi-fis, that sort of thing. And he took the amp into them, said it wasn't working, they inspected it, and this is their report. Now, I'm not going to make any comment on this. You can decide for yourselves what you make of this. But I'm not going to get into, any mudslinging or anything like that. I'm just going to show you what was said. You can decide. Customer has just sent this to me, dated 22nd of January 25. So this was only last week. The amp, the mains transformer is open circuit, so yes, it is faulty. Transformer not available, nice spelling, new anymore. Maybe you could track a second user one down. I have looked into it, re-Google, etc. No luck. He also checked some speakers out as well. And they've charged him 25 quid for the privilege. So they're saying the mains transformer is open circuit. Okay? There, in black and white. Obviously, I've folded over the customer details and who the repair centre is. But that's what he's been told. He's then contacted me and said, can I bring these in for you to check out? Because someone else recommended him to me. Right, so as you've seen before, the amp fired up and there was B+ throughout the amplifier. The heaters work and there's bias voltage as well. So the bias winding works. All right. But let's check out this the primary side of the mains transformer. Check it's working. So I've got the standby switch on at the moment, so the B+ in this amp is defeated. So at the moment, the power transformer, the mains transformer, is only running the heaters and the bias supply. All right. So we've got our meter set to AC volts, and if I measure across the voltage coming into the amplifier, and we haven't got the light bulb in circuit. This is full power. There you go. We've got 241 volts coming into the amplifier today. All right. So the amp is getting full mains voltage. There are 3 voltage taps on the primary of this transformer. There is a 240 volt tap, a 220 volt tap, and there is a 115 volt tap. All right. Now, we know the 240 volt is working because the amp power's on and isn't blowing fuses, isn't tripping the breaker. If it was open circuit, it wouldn't turn on. But it has. So we know the 240 volt is fine. And I can connect up to the 240 volt tap, which is the red one here, and you can see 241 volts, 241 volts. There we are. Well, that winding's good. What about the 220 volt, which is this blue one here? 220 volts. What's wrong with that? Okay, the last one is the 120 volt tap, which is this brown wire. It's a bit tricky to get to, so bear with me. There it is. 116 volts. You tell me why a professional repair centre who works on gear all day every day diagnosed this amp with an open circuit mains transformer and charged my customer 25 quid for the privilege. Can you explain that? I can't. Seems to be fine to me. I've told my customer this and he's very happy. He's ecstatic. His amplifier isn't dead, isn't knackered, and should be okay. So what do I think happened? Let's maybe, benefit of the doubt, let's go through this. Customer took the amp in, they tried to turn it on, and okay, maybe it was open circuit. Maybe that's the truth. Well, we found the mains fuse was missing. All right. And this voltage selector at the back here is a bit weird. All right. It should only have 3 click positions, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe it was in one of those in-between positions. But you'd think a professional repair place would actually check that, wouldn't you? I mean, that's disappointing. You'd think they had the basic decency to do resistance measurements between the windings in case it's a faulty selector switch or a faulty on-off switch or a blown fuse in a plug or a blown fuse here. Basic things like that. Why wouldn't you do that? Do you know what I think happened? I think they connected the amp to a power supply, it didn't turn on. Quick voltage measurement, nothing there. They saw the state of the valves here and went, nope, don't want to touch it, I'm done. That's what I think. So, yeah, pick your repairman carefully. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and carry on with the resurrection of this amplifier. I've ordered all the filter caps in the amp, so we're going to go ahead and do those. Can we see them all? Can we get them all in shot? Yeah, we can. So it's the 8 along here. They're all 33 microfarads. Sorry. So I've got some 30 microfarad F&Ts coming in here. We've got a 16 here, a 16 here, a 16 here, and a 16 here. So they're going to get done as well. I am going to obviously clean these sockets. Now, I was thinking about this and the gunge on these output valve sockets. I've seen it before. I've seen it before a lot of times. Is it dielectric grease that they apply? That they applied at the factory just to try and keep, keep some and protect the terminals and things from crap and stuff. Is that what it is? You know, to risk things arcing over, maybe. I did a quick forum search, but I can't find anything. But I have seen it before, so I wonder if it's if they were applying some dielectric grease to the high voltage pins of the sockets, just to try and prevent some stuff happening. Maybe. But yeah, it's a shame, really, isn't it, that someone just didn't want to do their job.